going against now a team like Danish Bears when they were not involved in the summit. I'm curious how Virtus Pro look at this matchup because it's very outside the spectrum of what they were used to in their own little personal meta, going against like Adfinem and company. So we'll have to see how things go. Early ward battle. Going to be breaking out right here. A lot of attention towards the bottom lane. As they are going to be able to get down the Danish Bears off-lane ward here. So if they are going to be setting up for that dual lane, they will see any sort of incoming pressure and just try their best to make sure that the Slark really gets nothing going in the laning phase. It's something that obviously you've had experience seeing recently, mod packs. So now that we see the lane matchup itself, how do you feel that the dual lane's going to do with the matchup that Virtus Pro have?
It's tough because they have to do a balance, right? Between how much help might G mean. Yeah. He'll probably be playing pretty passive in the mid lane, always trying to save his orb, trying to escape maybe those last moments. But in terms of support rotations and no fear, he's going to be firm enough. Man, there's just a taunt battle going on right here between our two fish heroes, but they're just going to be managing to help out that bottom lane, like coming in from the Doom, maybe grabbing a nice creep. There's certainly the potential that he gets something nice, like what if he comes around the trees with a single stomp? You could just like crush this dual off lane, right? So yeah, they have to be a little bit cautious, I think, Danish Bears, and play it by ear. And maybe we might see the Jakiro just like head top at point and be like, all right, StarLadder, maybe it's time to Iron Talon if they're just going to be fully, but that ward is going to be huge.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, just based on the reputation Virtus Pro have, and certainly getting FNG back in his, what many feel is prime position, being as a support, he's very proactive. He will move around. If he feels G is in need of the extra assistance, he'll be there at a moment's notice. So where his impression is in the early game will certainly be in effect here for the Danish Bears. But indeed, you're right. Noya is going to be heading there towards the bottom right now to be hand in hand with Mr. Hestajo. So this will be a very peculiar matchup that I'm going to definitely be tantalized about. But the Ember Spirit and the Puck also, we've been seeing G preferably going for the early double null, and my god, he's eating a lot of damage. Jesus Christ, that burn damage. Penguin really looking to kind of assert his dominance right off the bat right here. It seems like if G is put in an awkward position in the mid lane, or if he's really bullied, that it could be, I don't want to say tilting for Virtus Pro, but they seem to have a pretty difficult time coming on the recovery path. You know, as opposed to someone when we watch like a Sumail of like EG in their prime.
Yeah, and on top of just all those kind of aspects in terms of like tilt and pressure and everything, there is so much on G that it has to go well. And so no fear already coming in here. Nice turning change though, should secure life, but they do need that. He needs to come online. You've got a Tide Hunter and you've got a Slark Shadow Blade before he really wants to start being active. And yeah, we know how important that level 6 is for the Slark, kind of increasing both, you know, moving around the map, getting a little bit more arm for himself. Gonna be very limited because of this lane, not only just because his line's gonna be leading everything, but how threatening pairing is down there.
It really does feel like it's gonna be a long build up, and look at this mid lane, no fear between the two towers, just being the bouncer and just trying to really be imposing on Penguin Check right now. And Penguin Check is just trying to, you know, put him aside and stay focused on the actual CS in the lane, but they continue to dance around him. Now he's eating a lot of right-click damage. The orb is going to be flying out. He commits for it. There's going to be Fairy Fire, and that might be enough to keep him alive, but No Fear thinks that he can get one more Infernal Blade in, and that will do it. Fear picks it up. Puck also goes down, though, to apparently some creeps and some tower shots, but it will be to the benefit of Virtus Pro to get the first blood and that XP.
Can Rise get this? I'm scorched here. It's about to wear off, but it doesn't mean anyone else is rotating.
Needs like another couple of right clicks, but fast of a doom with that boots. Pesky boots.
Well, this isn't something we see too often, eh? A solo safe lane Razor with him, needs support, allows the Bane to just fully rotate bottom. Go back up potentially.
Oh, bottom lane, they're making a jump for Loa Dance. It's quick and fast, but they get it done. And Hestacho suddenly is just in the face of his fish brother Slark and just hits him with the elbow. And he's going to be going down. That's pretty severe, actually, to Virtus Pro. We know, and you were mentioning a bit about the long build-up that their lineup does require, and any sort of, you know, notch down right now is going to have a little bit of a repercussion here. So Aloha Dance getting back into the grind, but for a dual lane now, this puts him way up in the head, and it's not going to get any easier. Rise now steps in, sees FNG, uses out the right click, going to force out an early rotation. FNG turns around with the Earth Spike, pounce will connect, but Aloha Dance not want to be overcommitting on this one. There's a nice path. There's a dual breath. FNG could get burned on up. Mexico's going to be picking up the kill on that one. And Danish Bears are now suddenly up 3-1. No Fear tries his best to kind of, you know, look at them a bit and get some redemption going, but this bottom lane is working wonderfully for the Danish group.
Yeah, and Yoku even went back up top to try and contest up there. Maybe, you know, that farm a little bit of ace, try and do something about it, but he went for a straight headdress, that mechanism, but without boots, you just like can't be in that lane, right? So he just immediately leaves a second away from the tower, and just more and more free fire. I'm kind of expecting this boots of travel build again, and overall the control, like after the lion stuns, put a free reign here, very tanky Razor. Yeah, I would have to say that finger of death onto the can.
Yeah, the Razor's going to be a problem now. I mean, with this free farm, he's going to hit his peak, and he will be at his max capacity, given he's pretty good at his CS game. The best thing going for Verse right now is the mid lane, is the advantage they gave for G, is his matchup, and they're going to continue to accelerate that with FNG rotating in with a stun, with a right click. They are going to finish it off. G again, though, will lose his own life for it. It looked like Rise was there in time to kind of benefit from some of the XP, so he's actually almost level 4 now. But as mentioned, Puck is 22-8. Ember struggling quite a bit, 10-1, does go down again. But that's it. Bottom lane's great for Danish Bears. Top lane, Razor's even under the tower with the Eye of the Storm. So I think that at the end of the day, they are going to be pretty damn satisfied with this early laning phase.
Yeah, I can't really argue with that one here.
Oh God, look at, yeah, Jesus Christ. The Crush, then the Ice Path, and now the Liquid Fire is being leveled up. This is a problem for Clark. And one he doesn't run into very often, and now they just casually will even harass No Fear a bit.
And they, like, what does the Aloha Dance offer in that situation, right? He just has to just sit there and watch No Fear get bullied.
And I'll be honest with you, I've been seeing a lot of Verse Pro, and I rarely see Aloha Dance put in a position where he's like, I can't do anything here. Normally he's the guy where the Razor is right now, farming on his own, like, no problem team, we got this, I'm just going to be a jug. No, he's actually the one who's just being totally bullied in this lane, and really has to kind of second guess even any commitment. Both of them get hit with a Liquid Fire. This is just filthy.
Yeah, I'm expecting, coming into the series too, one thing I kind of considered was Pingvin.
Yeah, they get a coil in the mid lane. The stun will be there from FNG as the follow-up. Even Yoku's like, I'll get in this. The chains will come off, but he will be going down at the end of the day here. Verse Pro continue to make the most out of the lane that's been going good for him, but bottom lane is not going good. Creep. It's No Fear in trouble, and he gets locked in by the range creep. He's like, I'm just here to help you, bro. And, well, because of it, No Fear will be dropping, and it will end up being a 1-for-1 across the board. Still, you know, taking down the Ember is nice, as Ember always seems to struggle when he has a slow start, but again, can't emphasize enough, Danish Bears are getting a lot in these other two lanes.
Yeah, G, we'll see some pucks like, you know, the Veil first, really the thing for quite a while, and then now I've seen some like double null into the blink and then back for the Veil.
Yeah.
That too, and they've been again.
Done, hit, right click, chains, and deja vu for the third time. FNG, oh my god, finally he'll get him done. But will FNG make it away with his life here? Rise is on chase. It's only level 4, only has a sap, so that will have to be the end of the pursuit. And for every time Danish Bears get something going in one of the side lanes, Verse Pro will pick on Ember for it and continue to take out their aggression onto poor little Penguin here. So Penguin is now 2-4 on his Ember Spirit.
Yeah, and for the way this is going, I don't think they've killed Aloha Dance enough times. Just about to level 6. It's like, support, stay away, let me get my 6, everything will be fine then. And the plan for Danish Bears, you imagine, will be like boot travel get done here on Ace, and they'll start a little bit, try and use that ultimate, right? And some sort of a 4-hero roaming squad while they allow Penguin to catch back up. That'll be enough, right? The Slark still won't be quite online. We won't have that first big item up yet from G. That's gonna be kind of like one of the big telling moments for our team.
Yeah. So boots of travel. En route now, and hopefully at that point that could be the ticket for Danish Bears to really create the space for Ember and, as you mentioned, the 4-man group. It's flying right up above, but FNG already has his focus elsewhere, going for Ace. Ace now going to be eating the Ravage. Hey, congratulations though on your ruby red shoes. I'm sure they fit nice, but Verse Pro are here to kind of soil them a bit. Even committing the Ravage ulti. We'll even the game up now 5-5 in kill score, but as you mentioned, I don't know if Aloha Dance has been bullied enough for how much Verse Pro are suddenly getting you know, taking down this Ember Spear from time to time, and now even taking down the Razor, who, you know, was up there as far as net worth goes.
Yeah, he was kind of their last big, like, leader in terms of the overall farm. Hesajo, yeah, he's okay too, but Tranquil's build into that Blink Dagger next, no treads, a lot of their damage so now, fully relying on Ace. Can't have him going down again here, and they really want it.
Okay, they're running forward. FNG is hoping that by the magic of his Tranquils, he can get close enough for his stun, but that's not going to happen this time. G here, though, he's got Coil. Nelfear's close to Doom, but not level 6 yet, and yeah, Ace kind of turns back for some farm, but, you know, maybe not the right time. He gets him with the Vertical Blade, 2-man Coil, stun from Hesajo, but it's not going to matter. They are going to be losing Ace, and now Danish Bears just get the recovery kill onto G, but a Doom comes out suddenly as Nelfear will hit his level 6. Ember will go down. Hesajo, a finger in the face for you from FNG. Now on a killing spree. First Pro, it was a struggling laning phase for 2 out of the 3 lanes, but now with pick after pick after pick in a fight like that, they are certainly back into this game. It looks like Modpax with a 3K net worth swing to match it up.
Man, this trio is just getting work done.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just running at them. Like, what can you do? FNG, he throws out some spells, controls you up, and then this big Tide Hunter and right in your face, and they just do not have the damage to deal with 2 right now. At least not together. Like, Zoya's not joining up for these fights, and he kind of something you might be very hard next couple of minutes.
Then to be able to just get so much going after felt like them being bullied in the laning phase. Yeah, Aloha Dance was forced to sit back, and he's not getting any CS, but he's not really dying at all. Yeah, he died at first, but once he got knocked on the nose that first time, he's like, okay, that's fine. I'll have to be very disciplined. I can't casually go for the CS like I've been, you know, able to do in many games before this one, and ever since then was cautiously waiting out for a moment like now when he is able to farm up. But as I say that, Danish Bears are smoked. They're on the move. They're looking to punish him here. Aloha Dance though, Game Sense tingling, and now he's asleep. And they're going to hit him up with the Amplify, hit him up with the Fiend's Grip, and even a Crush on top, just to be safe. They will now finally get something back their way with a big takedown on Aloha Dance.
Yeah, it looks like now it's time to just group up, see what they can get done, but how much do they have to come back from the mid? Anyone going to come defend? It will be the first Veil, no fire. Might just end up being a little bit of a trade here.
1 for 1. While this happens, Ace continues to farm the top lane, but does have those boots of travel, obviously. He can always rotate in a moment in need if it's required. But yeah, Virtus Pro just go back on the objective path. The thing is that they do kind of have some big cooldowns they do need to work around. The Finger, the Ravage, the Doom, the Coil. It is so many ultimates that it almost feels like at any moment they'll have at least 2 to work with in any sort of potential skirmish, but for the time being they are currently expended in. Well, as I say that, they do smoke up. 5 seconds to Doom and a Coil. That's more than enough to take down Ace. They suddenly show up. They're going to dish out the extra bit of damage. That's a Doom for you, sir. An Infernal Blade, an Orb, and you are dead. Quick movement from Virtus Pro. Very efficient. They just get the tower, and they just make a sweep through the woods, and it just leads to a proper pickoff. And they may not be done yet there, Modpax. Okay, yes, they will be. Maybe not. Maybe so.
They can't decide either.
They can't either. They move in. Yoku's got a Ravage if they think it's required here, but it's not. They got plenty of burst power, and oh, things are crumbling for the Danish Bears. Looking to go back into hibernation as Rise is going to have to juke through the trees to hopefully make it to safety. He's good, but obviously now, Virtus Pro, well in control. Hi, how you doing? That's a finger. That's a jump in Yoku hit, and that's a double kill for FNG. Suddenly 11-7, and climbing up to the 5K net worth advantage at this point.
Yeah, it's never going to be an advantageous scenario in any game when cores and heroes are just going in feeding one by one. Really bad when you have a first Razor, because when you imagine like the old school Razor, right? Mech, Sanjin Yasha, very tanky, but he's gone for like pure movement speed. He needs people backing him up here to get his damage rate.
See if he can swiftly move on by Nelfear and get that damage. He did step up quite a lot, and G's going to be going down with a Fiend's Grip and a few lashings. Ace will easily be able to take care of him. He's going to be the first one to hit the deck, and Penguin's looking for more. Nice blink, though, from Yoku's going to avoid the trouble, and I think Virtus Pro will be able to safely make a good getaway here. So, Modpax, we might get a little bit of space here and a little bit of time to kind of reassess the situation, and the first thing I can't help but think about is Jakiro in some way supposed to be the X factor per their team? I know he hasn't been involved in a whole lot. He's been dedicated to farm. The guy has about 2K gold saved up. What is he getting, and is it going to be good enough to pull this game back? It's a Jakiro, for God's sakes.
Typically, he's the mech builder. Likes to go into his... Yeah, he just picks up the headdress and the... Now he likes to get up those Guardian Greaves. So you imagine what Jakiro likes to do, push down towers, right? And seeing this Razor, he needs help in getting survivability. You need this early mech on one of your side heroes, and that's why they give so much space to Noya. Trying to farm up these lanes, trying to make sure he's getting these towers pushed down early, and it's so risky. Like, having this booster drop, he's got raindrops. That's his setup right now for Ace, right?
And they're being tested already. The Gush for the raindrops here. He's gonna turn back link, and he's just like, Lord have mercy, where's my team? Finally, some teleports are gonna be coming in, and we'll see if they go for a turnaround play. Beautiful Ravage will connect on the 3, but jumping from Penguin, 2-man coil. It's gonna be a doom for Hess and Joe. They quickly get the burst. Ace is out. Yoku could be the response here. Penguin locks him into a corner. That doom continues to burn here for Hess and Joe. As Aloha Dance is gonna be softening him up, and that will allow the finish. Unstoppable streak for FNG. Stuns from Penguin. Noya looking for the ice patch. It's going to connect very nice onto Aloha Dance. And Aloha Dance looks for an alternate way out. Nice little pounce, avoids the trouble, but here comes the potential sleight of fist. It needs 10 seconds for Penguin. He can't get close enough yet. Aloha Dance is a man on the run, and he'll have a pounce in 1 second to further make distance. Oh, how nice. An Invis rune, too. So he's gone for sure. Danish Bears lose 2 for the 1 trade. Not the response they were hoping for. And obviously, it all started with Virtus Pro, and it will end with Virtus Pro as they make the move for Rise. Finger is the stun. He pops the mech. He's alive. No, he's not. He catches him with the right click. He goes down. Noya tries to focus the Fairy Dragon, but that ain't happening. The rest of his team, they roll out right now for no fear. Sapping up a bit of damage. Penguin. No, they're going to have to, again, time and time again, Danish Bears just have to let these ones go. It looks like Virtus Pro just have so many ways to force out this long-winded chase. I know they're hustling. They're trying to get there, but Virtus Pro are just kiting them and pulling them apart and not making anything easy.
I'm trying to remember what it was he built the last game I was watching this, but he ended up with 520 really early on the Razor, just like naturally. It was absolutely disgusting. The SNY, it was just gravel SNY, casual.
Mid lane, Penguin was just farming, does get hexed up, but they don't have enough to stop from remedying out. And yeah, I mean, he's fast, Moppax, there's no denying that. The guy could definitely sprint, but for now, we are going to have to see a little bit more fight. Maybe more durability required. I guess that can be coming from the grease here. Mid lane though, a fight breaks out. Coil connecting here from G, locks into 2. Might prevent a bit of extra chase here. But now an engagement comes out from Aloha Dance as he pounces for Rise. Rise gonna get knocked up a bit. Yoku jumps in. Needs 10 more seconds for the Ravage. They are gonna be able to burst down Raze here. And now they look for a response to G here. Jump in, nice crush from Hesta Joe. Jump in Remnant as they look for more. Duke's gonna come out with no fear, and that's gonna force Penguin back. And with that happening, no fear should be burnt on down. Hestajo's gonna be able to connect. And Danish Bears get a huge fight. Choku though jumps in and Ravage to get the finish on Ace. And it looks like he'd be able to walk away with his own life. I say that, but Moya connects with the ice path here. And Penguin with Hestajo are gonna be chasing. But Yoku does have the blink. He's going to go for the TP. He's good. Aw, slight. Cute, but good moves from Yoku. And when the dust does settle there, Modpacks, it ends up being a 4-for-2 trade and a huge net worth swing here for Danish Bears. It's a step in the right direction, but what do you think? How many more of those do they need if they want to get this game back really in their court?
Oh, it's certainly pretty huge because of that 900 gold or so onto our Ember Spirit, right? I mean,
yep.
He's going to pick up some drums, he'll be a little tankier himself. Not opting to go into that Battle Fury because he knows, like, look at this lineup, and they need to play together right now. Mechanism from the Jakiro, that first top fight that kind of kicked off all this aggression for the past 5 minutes. So they were about 100 gold from next. Looks like we'll lose. Potentially right. Oh, we're getting more.
Yeah, for sure. This led in with a smoke play from Virtus Pro, but the response is there from Danish Bears. They lead in. Beautiful 2-man crush comes out from Hestajo, and that will lead to a 2-man takedown. And both of those kills going to the Penguin man himself. Uh-oh. Fortunately, Danish Bears are back in this ball game now.
Yeah, and this is what this draft does, because up against Empire, there was at one point where they were down like 5 kills or something like that, but they take one good fight, StarLadder crushes, and suddenly your towers are just gone. Look at this thing burn. I mean, they have to be Exit Scepter after 2 onto Ace, probably post S and Y.
Yeah.
And you can just crush objective. And yeah, maybe you'll be ahead, but you're going to lose a full lane if another one of those fights.
Little crush onto G after he does try to avoid some trouble before. Oh, the Ice Path will connect. He's not able to jaunt away, and he just gets burnt up. G going down. This feels like a hot streak happening for Danish Bears. They will quickly even the game back up in net worth and XP, and for their lineup, that is a wonderful thing. We have to begin to look now at the side of Virtus Pros at what the crawlback is going to be here. It's been unusual to see Aloha Dance so far off from completing that first big item here, Modpex. There it is. He will have a Shadow Blade now. Does feel a little bit late for his normal quota. Let's see if he can find anything with it. Is going to be able to grab the bounty rune. Oh, a sentry is going to be dropped to the connect. Yes, they can! Ice Path and a crush, but he will quickly go into the Shadow Dance. They will quickly pull away.
That's not bad. That's a full minute. And you can start to see like this teamwork just coming together right here from Danish Bears.
Yeah.
One of the kind of those classic traits, right, of these maybe rising teams. Everyone's just getting so much better at the game. There's so many that a lot of what's happening is down to some communication. Talking about objectives in terms of towers, you look at their Roshan potential, it's definitely there from Bears too, so maybe if they can get some sort of a good smoke play in there, maybe take down Yoku would of course be the dream, even if it's just a bad Ravage goes off and he survives the fight. It could be something as simple as that, could just immediately open that up, put that thing on top of Ace. Life starts to look pretty good. Look at that range he's got now with that Dragon Lance. Fast on that thing, so efficient.
Yeah, we don't get to see Razor too often unless it's like, you know, in the hands of some of these unique teams like Danish Bears. But, you know, Razor, you don't think about him firstly when you think of a, you know, a Dragon Lance, but that is really nice. I mean, those extra few hits with when you're sporting that extra whopping 200 damage or so from all that move speed that he built up for himself, I guess that'll be pretty nice to have. The chase potential is ridiculous on Danish Bears. I'm not questioning that one bit. And then, as you said, later on when he has that objective potential, his sieging capability with that Dragon Lance is going to be ridiculous. From the low ground, it's going to be like Indiana Jones whipping at the tier 3s. It's going to be lovely, but we'll see though. Virtus Pros, they want to go back on the objective path themselves, and they're going to knock down this tier 1. A very precious access point for Danish Bears, and when you got Roche potentially to happen here in the near future, that's a nice tier 1 to hold on to, but they are going to be losing it. Okay, that's a deep 2-man coil, but Hestigo does respond. The follow-up response is Yoku's huge Ravage play, and that's going to knock Hestigo down. Chaos breaks out, Macropire going to be going down. The Duke flies to Penguin. They are going to take down Aloha Dance though, and get FNG. Danish Bears begin to slash their claws as they take down No Fear with the help of a big Fiend's Grip. Double kill for Ace. Danish Bears make it a 3-for-1 trade. Let's see if they have enough to still make a move into possibly the Roche pit here as they eyeball G. Looks like nonetheless they will walk away with a pretty damn nice victory. Pulling ahead now 19-18 in kill score, but look at 3K swing their way, and Razor gets 600 gold of it. Very nice bonus for Danish Bears, and he suddenly has nearly 2,500 gold. This Razor's getting pretty damn big. He's now top of the network.
Yeah, I feel like he just picked up that Dragon Lance there. Yeah, I can't believe I actually got the crush top there. So many of these fights, setting up these 2-3-man crushes and getting spotted out right there. I thought for sure they were going to hex and everything on top of them, but without that Blink Dagger quite yet up there, I mean, we know FNG's been already leveled this game, having to support that Slark down bottom. Not too many early smoke gank rotations going off, despite having 7 kills. Not quite up into that Aether lens.
Yeah, and you know, what do you think about that? I've noticed that a lot of the trends for the Lions lately is going for the Aether lens first, while others would just, you know, rush the Blink. Is it to just add for more magical burst? Yeah, he benefits a lot from the range of all of his spells. I'm not questioning that. But, you know, BKB, normally for Lions by the time they get, or BKB, Blind, or Blink, god damn it, Blink, when they get that, you know, it comes along with the BKB timing for some of the cores of the other team, and a blinking line scoffs at a BKB at that point. So what do you think the value is between going for the Aether lens first over just rushing a Blink flat out?
Well, it's certainly, of course, the build thing to talk about, right? And
yeah.
making sure one item at a time, you're not losing gold. You're generally at the lower end of your gold spectrum all the time anyways as support when you're building that way, and versus having something like that Blink Dagger where every time you die, and he's died 4 times here, and then your positions. If you're losing 300 gold every single time, Blink Dagger gets further and further off. The other thing is when you're on the back foot against something like StarLadder, and we always talk about that, like, you know, pre-cast the hex, right? So he blinks in and you instantly hex him.
Yeah.
The Aether Lens can, like the blink's just not as important in that kind of situation. So you can kind of get the hex off on the pre-initiation and then use that Aether Lens for like the incoming. I mean, let's be real. It's always going to be better, but it's just so much cheaper for the.
No, you do make a good point. I mean, for when you're going against a team like what Danish Bears has, it's great for the counterplay. We'll go into more of that later, though, as G already initiates, gets the coil for Hestijo, but he gets some glimmer help. Immediate macro fire, Ice Bath combo comes out from Noya, but now it's for Hestijo. He eats a Doom, he goes down. Ravage follow from Yoku is going to be there. They pop the Crimson and all the utility from No Fear's Doom as Burst Pro do square up for him. Said by Aloha Dance could be caught out, chained down. Penguin Tip makes his move. Sleight of Fist is going to be flying. Swinging a miss on the stun, though, from FNG. Will finger Penguin. Penguin just walks away from it. Aloha Dance eats a bit of liquid fire damage, and Danish Bears, well, they rendezvous and reposition back up into a higher ground. G moves in. Nice 3-man Rift Silence, and that will force the Danish Bears back. Rise, though, is going to be away from his family as he heads north. He is isolated, and he will be taken care of, and Crash will be taken out. Virtus Pro managed to lose nobody in this engagement, and to kind of read the situation very, very well, Mod Paxton. Now they are going to be back on the rise.
Yeah, and when he picked up this Shadow, wasn't that like 20 minutes or so?
Yeah, it was late. I said it was late, like 18-20 minutes. I was like commenting on it, and then he suddenly had it.
And he almost is a BKB.
He almost is a BKB. I mean, it'd been pretty quiet for a bit, and he crushed, but timing, no detection though, and he's stalking him here at show. His fish senses are tingling, I'm sure. Aloha Dance. Quick link stun! Aw. No way that would have happened. Yeah, why? He must have not had enough insert sponsored energy drink, you know?
Yes, nice.
That's what it was.
Good one.
I don't know what I don't know, yes. Or sponsored protein milk beverage. I'm not too sure. I don't think StarLadder has any of those.
You guys are kind of brain gear boys, aren't you?
I don't know. Is StarLadder though? Cranian energy drink. I don't know, dude. But 20-19, we check out the docket once again, and Burst Pro are kind of back on the rise with that. But do you think their lineup can complement this? They just committed a lot to be able to get this momentum swing back their way. So this is when Danish Bears can go back and fight their own, playing around those longer cooldowns a bit. But it's not going to be much longer of a window. 20 seconds for Ravage. We already see that the finger's back up for FNG. So, you know, what should Danish Bears be looking for at this point? They've now kind of lost their first skirmish in what feels like a while. And they need to find these windows, or they need to find a way to fight themselves back into contention.
Yeah, I think it is those cooldowns. Just as you're saying, like, it just becomes so important in this stage of the game. We start talking about always smoking up, right? It's not our defense a lot of the time. It's like, okay, let's smoke and find somebody, and you want to be the team that has more numbers when you guys magically pop out of the smoke. So if that goes in favor of DB, maybe the Ravage either gets killed off right away. You put enough people that they then can't come back for something new. Just not having that Ravage up, not having that Finger Death, and then that Doom too, that new cooldown, right? Like 140 seconds. Kind of a big deal. 20 extra seconds to work around for them.
Yeah.
Get into something like that Roshan, but smoke time now for
B. And at Burst Pro, they make a good fight with these cooldowns. I mean, they're moving forward, they're clearing out all the tier 2s, and then they're going to be 10k ahead in this game. So, for the sake of Danish Bears, they need to avoid this kind of a trouble. And for the sake of Burst Pro, they need to, well, if they want to hold on to their precious lead, going against Danish Bears lineup, which can have a pretty high ceiling. I mean, what would you say? Let's say Burst Pro, they get nobody on the smoke movement, which...
Oh, that works above the multiple there.
Oh, he commits in, gets the coil, but he goes right into his stun with Hestijo, and he is far from home. Can they get G down before help shows up? Blowing in sort of here, goes to Shadow Dance, and now swinging in from the other side. We have FNG, and there's going to be the sidestep. They look for No Fear. Can they burst down the Doom in time? Yes, they can. It's going to be a two-man takedown here. Danish Bears lose nobody. It looked like Virtus Pro thought they had a pick onto an isolated target or so, but they ended up walking into the whole Bear group, and the Bear pack is very mad Packs.
Yeah, just great positioning. And this war, the smoke dissipates just as they're crossing through here, and they're like, okay, all 5 heroes are here. So they prep themselves in a really nice defensive position, like a Jakiro fighting in an area like that. There's only can actually walk. So Macrofire just burning that forest down, and it's objective game. They can take the tower, they can back away to Roshan if they like. Just have to be a little concerned about the Ravage being back up.
Yeah, there's still some power ultimates out there. No coil, obviously, but they get their tier 2 and they 180 the hell out of there just as fast as they got it. And as you mentioned, Roche potential's there, but they have to get these lanes back in order. You know, good nod to Aloha Dance. He already starts pushing down that bottom lane, restricting the access to that Roche pit here for the side of Danish Bears. In fact, Virtus Pro, bloodthirsty. You know, they're making chase, man. G is in divide mode right now. He is like, I'm going to go right in for this. He even commits the coil. He's like, I want some blood. Now he gets just knocked in the noggin a bit from Petsugo, but it allows enough time for Yoka to catch up with the Ravage Connect on 2 here. Responds to Noya, Ice Path, they get the Bane down. But Virtus Pro, got to be careful here. They walk through the fire, and now the jumping comes out from Penguin and the stun. They're going to get FNG down. If they lose more, this chase was all for nothing, and they committed a Ravage for this too. He will make it away from the trouble. He comes back, but he does get dropped there. Noya will catch him. Penguin moves in for the rest of all. Aloha Dance tries to kind of intercept a bit. Now he's focused, and he goes down. 8 on a mega kill streak. Danish Bears, they stay as a group. And when they notice that one little Bane's in trouble, they help Baby Bear. And they move in and they just slash down the rest of the Virtus Pro matchup. I didn't notice it's Danish Bears versus the Polar Bears. This is a lot of fun Packs.
I also had to look at what are Danish Bears? Would they be like black bears or brown bears?
I don't know.
Like Dwight Schrute's Wet Dream.
It is, really. Beats, Bears, Battlestar Galactica, and now a battle at the Roach Pit. Danish Bears certainly well in control once again, and the mountain rankings of our network draft continues here. A spike for Virtus Pro, Danish Bears take the game back. A spike for Virtus Pros, and now we're back even once again. But every time this happens for the Bears, I feel like it's all sound weird, but it's that much better for them. I mean, you got an Ember Spirit, for God's sakes. You got a Razor. I feel like their late game is just a little bit nicer, Packs. Do you think that's how it is? For Virtus Pro, they have a nice late game, but as the game goes later, it is much more pressure on their execution.
Yeah, I would definitely agree with that. You're looking at this Ravage, they have to be so good. And even that last one, you're blinking into a very kind of fogged up area, you're not exactly sure what it is, you're kind of praying, you throw it out. You have to combo that up with everything. You gotta get the Doom on the right target. Whereas Danish have those cool, not an issue. I mean, you watch this StarLadder and this Razor in these fights, they're just in and out, and casting spells over and over. Like they don't have that like speed, but who has to get in these fights kind of sits there, and they're just toying with them at this point. From Danish Bears in some of these engagements, if they don't get that immediate lock onto who they like, they're just ready to go again.
I mean, Yoku is making up for that as best as he can. He got the secondary mobility tool in the Force Staff, and if you're going to be in the heat of the battle, you know, you're the Grease candidate after all. But you're right. There's just not enough juke and jive potential Danish Bears have. There's just a lot more flexibility, and it really shows in these fights. And you know, as the game progresses, the handicaps of Virtus Pro only become a bit more apparent. Aloha Dance now could be in trouble. They have a beautiful trap set up, but oh my god, the second that they roll on forward, Aloha Dance just heads right back out. That was very close to Fiend's Grip territory, and that would have been the immediate demise of Aloha Dance, but lives on.
Yeah, now we've just got like 2 heroes that just do whatever they want, right? Ace is pushing one lane, Windjack can just the other one, both having travels, both decent clear, and then it's just this like, trio of the StarLadder, the Bane, and the Jakiro. They go around, they find someone they want to fight, and instantly the other 2 heroes can be right there, and they don't have that at all. You can have home and housing, fireside jungle.
Yeah, I mean, the buddy system is real here for Virtus Pro. You know, much like the trio that Danish Bears have been going with their Hitman squad, but Virtus Pro are now all committed. Maybe they're just recognizing their potential for the later game isn't as nice as what the Bears have. So it's time to make sure we get back on the objective path here. Tier 2s, looks like the first one could be taken down here. Versus Pro will grab up some extra change. And G begins creeping in. He's got the Ags now. And hopefully that together with a Ravage with a hectic fight, he'll make something out of it here. Just some teasing at Penguin. Uh-oh. Okay. Uh-oh. Spot lane though. That's a Joe. Kicked off right there. Suddenly a wild full versus pro team are in your woods, and now Danish Bears want to get them out. No Fear goes to the TP, he will be canceled, and he will going down as the support for the, well, I guess you could say core StarLadder. A nice little trade for Virtus Pro, a good little tease, and they don't have to commit too much for it, just a Doom. But they are, that's not good enough for Virtus Pro at this point in the game.
No, not quite. The one person that they really want to try and grab is Noya. Still hasn't died this whole game, and he's had this gem for like almost 15 minutes at this point, just like roaming around the map.
Does he ever get Ags on Jakiro, by the way?
I haven't seen. I've only seen the Greaves coming up from him.
It's ridiculous. I only know because I like farted around with it and overthrow a bit. I mean, the thing is mighty girthy. No, I mean, not gonna lie, it takes up the whole frickin' screen, and you can pretty much stop a siege or two in itself. It lasts like 2 creep waves, but I don't know. You know, obviously, maybe if it was late luxury game and you found yourself in a committed high ground defense position, I just didn't know if there was maybe some sort of hidden utility for it that some pro players use that I'm not aware of. But it sounds like no, definitely not.
I mean, Penguin checks all about that alchemist.
That's true.
It should be Noya, you'd think.
Yeah, definitely. Without question, but, you know, we'll see. I mean, for other Jakiras, obviously you play the game by game. Maybe here and there you might need a Lotus Orb, you might need an extra utility item. None the case. Right now he just adds so much. Being the hero that he is, their sieging capability is really, really nice on Danish Bears. If they're able to make it to the other side of the map and try to push into the base of Virtus Pro, they have slides to take down the wave. The Razor, of course, with his Dragonlance to siege at the tier 3. And obviously the Jakiro with those liquid fires. So, it's a matter of getting across the river and starting to get to that point. And for Virtus Pro, if they're stuck in that point when they're inside their base confined, finding a way back out again is not going to be easy.
No, especially if like smoke gangs kind of keep going the same way, where maybe they blow a single Ravage. Yeah. And just no cooldown issues really for Danish Bears besides the Eye of the Storm, but even that's relatively minute.
Well, they see G, they got him with the amp damage. They'll jump in, they'll crush him a bit. Yoku waits on the side with a Ravage good to go, but obviously you don't want to be pulling one of those out defensively. So
this
diffuse
Agnes is kind of odd in some ways to me from G. Like, came out before the BKBs were done. He doesn't have that Venge Spirit or anyone who naturally builds. Like, his Tidelander had a 4-staff kind of early on, where you can think about these like intentional coil breaks, but the Yule set, like so many times we've seen him die to like Jakiro or dying because he's being tracked up from the amplified damage and you can't get rid of it.
Yeah, it's, I mean, you're not going against your typical silence heroes that you're normally annoyingly going against when you're a puck, and I understand that like Jakiro is not something you run into every day, but yeah, I would have to agree with you. The Yules just add so much extra annoyance, if you will, to the puck, and making him so much more difficult to take down, and so many more possibilities of being able to slip in and out of fights. But nonetheless, you know, I guess the Ags will add some stats so he can survive a macro pirate, but
yeah,
we'll see.
I think that's kind of what he was going for, because a lot of these times he was dying really low, so it might just be the fact that he's thinking, I need a little bit more damage, maybe we will get some coil breaks, so it'll help out, but
you gotta get it, you know, and then later, you know, you would hope to get like something like the Sheep Stick, especially when you're dealing with this Ember Spirit. He still doesn't have a BKB, and we don't know if a BKB is even going to be on the agenda for Penguin, but having the Blink with the Sheep, if Virtus Pro were dreaming of having any sort of catch-off potential on someone like the Ember, that would probably be their best bet here. I mean, Aloha Dance is going to be able to man up here. FNG is going to allow him to get the finish, and that was something that Penguin Check was not counting on at all. FNG just waiting there, good to go, and obviously with the Aether Lens, he gets off the Hex that much easier and makes the setup nice.
Yeah, this ward living much longer than I would have expected with that gem on the side of the dire, but they haven't made the trek in there. No one's been checking out those high grounds or anything, so for that one, again, another ward here. Where's Noya walking this game? He's not finding any of these.
Yeah, everywhere but the common places where wards are, apparently. So they'll sit back with his team, but Yeah, you're right. They're going to need to make sure they can get out there. I mean, you can walk by these low grounds right now, but they are going to need to find a way to get some vision up there. So whether it's up there and throw an ice path or something. Tower goes down, the second tier 2, and Virtus Pro are quick to cross paths all the way to the bottom lane possibly, but we'll see how they reposition. Their bottom lane is actually pushed pretty far out, so at some point they either need to decide if they want to commit in for this or pull all the way back to the base. Roach is getting close to being up. I mean, at least we'll find out the secondary timer and see if it's going to be a short one or not. A long one for
that is a long one.
Benefit for the Bears, I would say. So, Virtus Pro will get back into the farm grind here, but I don't know. I'm still not satisfied for Virtus Pro if they're hoping to kind of pull back the W in this one. Danish Bears are just a team that when the game kind of stalls out, they can find more farm faster, I feel.
Yeah, and this is kind of what happened the last time I watched this Razor too, is that he just kept building these tankier items. I mean, using the Shiva's good now, and when it eventually becomes time for, alright, are we ready? Like, you guys are happy with what we have, the Amber, the map, everyone else is for one and done pickoffs, he'll just build the Ags at that point. Alright, let's go high ground. I got the item, boys.
Man, Estijo is a man on a mission. He just beelined it for the bottom lane and was happy to get whomever. He jumps right into FNG and just puts him into a hurt locker. And now we'll see if Virtus Pro wants to engage and jump in from no fear. He's going to do for the Estijo, who's going to quickly walk out from the fight and wait that one out. While Ace jumps in, BKB now looking to soak up the damage, and they begin to right-click down the Mighty Doom. Crimson Guard is cute and all, but not going to be nearly enough. But look at this top lane. Aloha Dance actually is going for the tier 3 all the meanwhile. Rise will be there to try to slow it down as much as possible, catches him out with the sleep, but they're going to need a bit more than that. Well, they do. They have the Fiend Script. Now comes out the Mighty Flashes from Penguin, and that is going to be a Slark going down. 70 seconds does have the buyback. Back at bottom lane. Beautiful Ice Path on the 2. Here comes the slice and the return of the Mighty Penguin. Him and Ace begin to just work with what they got as they push in for Yoku. He will self-lotus up. That graphic is totally off the mark right there. But nonetheless, here comes that Mighty Siege we were talking about before. A cute split play to the top lane will secure a tier 3 for Virtus Pro. But Danish Bears do kind of take the fight overall and take the superior resources.
Yeah, Aloha Dance. Don't respect Bane right there. That's all that is, right?
Yeah.
Radiant's bottom
leave? Oh, it's just a Bane. Don't know what happens there, right?
And maybe a miscommunication of using Fiend's Grip.
It's so long. What time to set up that Fiend's Grip?
I don't know if he thought maybe it was used in the bottom part of the fight, but no. Yeah. The Bane coming in, you need to make sure that you're out of there before he can get his grips on you. Virtus Pro not quick to back down. They go back and they smoke. They got Ravage.
This is very unexpected with the
They got
being
Finger. Up. Yeah, Doom is on cooldown, but as you mentioned, this could be unexpected. They actually anticipate Danish Bears are going to be going for the Roche, but no. Now they cross paths. It's Rise. He might have to be the one to take the gank, but Ace says, let's go. Moves in BKB. They are going to lose that Bane, but he goes right for no fear, and that Doom just gets easily taken down. The rest of Virtus Pro looking to get the hell out of there. G's going to be able to sidestep and make it away. They look for FNG. A jump in from Yoku with the Ravage. Aloha Dance is going to try to clean things up, and well, they do lose FNG. A high ground push for Ace. Makes it away from the trouble. Yoku tries to go in. Anger smash. No, not going to be able to get him. He does keep you away from the trouble. They do lose Noya, though, and it does make it a, 2-for-2 trade at the end of the day. Things end up even right there. But, you know, again, Virtus Pro, they commit another couple of ultimates, and they don't get the Mighty team wipe, and I don't think they get themselves in a comfortable enough position to even move in for the Roche.
No, at the very least, they did snag up that gem Noya, so it'd be handy to keep up their map vision. They are going to be going to, I would think, a little bit of kind of split push action, right? Having G over on some of these side lanes, and having that double gem factor be enough to just make it feel a little bit safer.
For sure. Man, you were talking about before, but Ace, man, this guy does move fast. He is really fast.
It's ridiculous.
He's like suddenly just back at Roach Pit now, and they're going to get this easy. With the help of the amp damage, it's really no joke. First Pro are nearby, but now they're going to have to get the hell out. Danish Bears, there's that boost speed. Look at him go! But the ping is even going to be pretty fast. He moved so fast ahead of his team, but they got the follow. Pesco's going to be there with the crush, and they look to take out the Doom quick. He can't get the Doom off. He goes down, and they look for more. Rise, self-go, self-sleep to avoid the trouble. They are going to get ace down. However, jump in, G, good rip. They look for Hess to go, and they'll get it. Aloha dance. Looking to clean up now. Danish Bears lose 3. Can they also take down the second leg of Penguin? They might be able to. He has nowhere to really run. He even frantically pops the drugs to Yoku, even with the body blocks. Allows Aloha Dance to get the triple kill, and Virtus Pro take back a huge fight, one they needed for quite a while. Reclaim the net worth lead. That had been the fight they were waiting for.
Yeah, just great use of the high ground. I mean, there's no like full. If you just try and run from this lineup, you're all going to take it, right? You know how that story's going to go. StarLadder, Razor chasing you down one by one, Ember Spirit as well, but just taking their fight in the area where they actually won. So extremely well. The self Fiend's grip coming out there, thanks to that Lotus Orb. Nice little play there by Yoku.
Yep.
That nets them a melee rack at the very least. The buyback on that Razor, that is devastating.
Just a wonderful heads-up turnaround play. The Razor, he's a Ferrari, you know, we won't deny that. He makes chase, but he chases almost so far ahead that he's isolated from his team, and they're able to get so much onto him. And he's not the Aegis carrier, so I mean, he dies so fast. And then Danish Bears is left with pretty much nothing. He was the Aegis carrier, right? No,
the Ember.
Yeah, the Ember was. So he's far ahead. He doesn't have the extra life. He goes down. But here we go. Ravage up again. Big coil, big Ravage, big fight. And Virtus Pro with the win here. Quick claim. Game number 1. Danish Pros were in such a solid spot to hold out. And now without an Ember for 80 seconds, it's all on Ace to hold to his home base. Joe helps him out, gets a good crush, but he's under the Shadow Dance, and they're not going to be able to get Aloha Dance. Very good play from his Slark. They make it out without losing anything, Mod Packs. A Rax at the top, and they single Rax in the mid lane. This is a hard blow for the Danish Bears.
Yeah, Ace, he really was playing like he had the... They had just taken a nice objective, they'd forced back VP, everything was looking good, and he's like, no, we can get more. Like, we chased down. I'm mega tanky. And he is very tanky, but really just like ran into 5 heroes. Everyone else not able to get in position. The Jakiro, a lot of the times we've been seeing really sick ice paths and everything. It's been off the back of like the big stun setup, right? Where he has time to actually position himself.
Yeah.
Spot, go for that ice path, and without Hesta Joe being straight up front there with that Razor.
Oh, Aloha Dance spotted Ace, wants to make a go for him, but he is a little far from his team, but they have shown up now. This time though, no big ultimates on Virtus Pro, no big Ravage. BKB already getting popped for Aloha Dance, so Danish Bears look to step back, but they spotted Rise, he Ghost Scepter's up, but the Razor is going to be able to isolate FNG and take him down. Can they get revenge? Trying to make chase. Stage goes very good at disengaging though. They step back and away, but look at Heston re-engaging into the fight. He's far from his team and he will be taking advantage of. And they're going to get the Rise follow-up too. So quickly turns into a 2-for-1. Another unprofitable fight there for the Danish Bears. And Virtus Pro could be looking for the closeout now as they push in for this bottom lane. You know, this is pretty much the last solid base foundation, if you will, for the Danish Bears. And they are quickly moments away from potentially losing game number 1 of this best of 3.
Yeah, it's unlikely they can win back. All of the melee racks now down. Who cares about range racks?
Yeah, Virtus Pro got to feel pretty good at this point. We'll see the final hurrah here from the Danish Bears, leading with a sleight of fist. Aloha Dance, eyes on the prize. BKB looking to go for the racks, change his target, step back. There's going to be the Paxton now that he wants to leave. Ace has got him though, sapping away the damage. Changes course, goes for No Fear, who's happy to draw all the attention onto himself. Means the safety of the rest of his team, but the rest of his team is looking to fight some more. Jump in, Ravage from Yoku as he's back off cooldown now. Should help seal the deal here for Virtus Pro. Danish Bears 1 foot in the grave, and potentially getting ready to be put 8 feet under here. Jump in, Yoku waiting. Faking out taunts, faking out anchor smashes, smacking him down right now. The disrespect coming out from Virtus Pro. And there it is, the mighty new Ravage. And it looks like they've done it, Montax. It was a pretty back and forth game there. And it felt like Danish Bears were able to accumulate enough net worth, enough personal growth that if playing with the cooldowns appropriately, they could end this game, but Virtus Pro gets that huge fight by the Roach Pit right after the huge momentum swing of Danish Bears, and that's really all it took. It was just one quick swoop.
Yeah, that early pressure on that bottom lane, I think it did a lot of what they needed. Clark down low, that crazy pressure bid as well from V. Sure, the G had a good start, which was also very important for their own chances at winning this one, but Danish Bears, like, they got those items up they needed. I felt like they had travels were up, a couple tanky items there onto Ace, the grouping, things were looking well, but